العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار القهار الوهاب الرزاق الفتاح العليم القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم العدل اللطيف الخبير الحليم العظيم الغفور الشكور العلي الكبير الحفيظ المقيم الحسيب الجليل الكريم الرقيب المجيب الواسع الحكيم الودود المجيد الباعث الشهيد الحق الوكيل القوي المتين الولي الحميد
المحصي المبدئ المعيد المحيي المميت الحي القيوم
الواجد الماجد الواحد الصمد القادر المقتدر المقدم المؤخر الأول الآخر الظاهر الباطن الوالي المتعالي البر التواب المنتكم العفو الرؤوف مالك الملك ذو الجلال والإكرام
المقسط الجامع الغني المغني البارئ الضار النافع النور الهادي البديع الباقي
الوارث الرشيد الصبور الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير اللهم صل أفضل الصلاة على أسعد المخلوقات كسيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عدد معلوماتك ومداد كلماتك كلما ذكرك الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون
يموت أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. اليوم 26 ولا 27 27 من 3 1446 هجري، الموافق في يوم الثلاثاء، ونبث لكم مباشر من هنا في أقصى قارة إفريقيا، وهي جنوب أفريقيا بمدينة كيب تاون. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. Today, mashallah, tabarakallah, it is the 27th of Rabi' 1446 Hijri, and it is a beautiful and spring day in the mother city, which is called Ummul Qura, and we are coming on a Tuesday, the third cycle, the cycle that brings us to the Father, and that is how the three from Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, you are now completing the first three. Okay, that is ثلاثة. Okay. ولا تقولوا يعني Surah Maryam. Don't say that they are the Trinity. I'm going to explain to you people what is Trinity, because how you have been educated in the last 100 years is exactly the opposite what is going to be in the next 100. Okay. So as you all understood Nabi Isa to be a human being, Nabi Musa to be a human being, Nabi Muhammad to be a human being, people, none of you can stand up today and say you saw him. Nor did your mother see him, nor did anybody alive on the planet see him. Okay? So you must come to terms with the fact that you cannot use anybody that you read the work and the book and to believe that that was true because you didn't see it. If you didn't see it, nobody can give false testimony because none and no one saw it. And Allah made sure that nobody saw it. So all of us are loving and believing in something we would never have seen, nor did anybody see it. It is just in our mental constructs that we came to understand it in a history and in a storyline that we now claim, believe, but nobody can bring any evidence that it was present, except through your mental constructs. Nothing in the physical space of reality exists in the permanent realm. It's not factual, it is speculative. Okay? I'm wanting you all to understand that we have gone through the shift in conscious here, so that those of us that did not understand and does not understand and did not make it to the other side, it's important for you to understand that we completely are clairvoyant of what we are manifesting with the permission of the universe, of the mother queen of the earth and the heavens, and with the support and the barakat of the ancestors. Okay, look, we are now in conscious divorced of a dead narrative. Like you had believed in something you don't see, you don't know, you believe in dead people, you believe in things that doesn't exist, and you know that your conditions are just deteriorating day after day. You are just sinking further into debt, further into riba, further into illusions, further into denial spells. But you don't want to realize that you are residing in the hell part of this mental reality that no longer has relativity. Okay? Now, the new narrative which we scripted in the heavens, okay, for the new age digital compatible smart minds, the Ghulamun Alim, they're not going to believe that there was a physical prophet. They're going to believe that there was a conscious prophet. Okay, they're going to believe that there was angels in terms of the intelligent perspectives. Okay, they're not going to believe in the fictitious speculative things that you and I believed in, because that was just hear and say. We did not confirm anything, and it doesn't make sense anymore to us, because there's an alternate construct of reality that is now emerging into our presence. Okay, there is now the quantum systems. There is now a broader faculty of how the future and how the conscious is given another upgrade by the Lord of the worlds. So we are manifesting a brand new age for those who Allah has arrived to the new valley of conscious. Okay, this is now where we call the land of the living. After we are now exiting the land of the dead. Okay, many of us are considered in this transitional period. We are considered as not alive. We are dead. We don't know what it is to be conscious. We only know what it is to be alive, but not consciously awoken. Okay, this is happening in real time, people. Don't deny the ni'mah. فَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. Be present and acknowledge that this is happening in the fullest of the conscious cosmo presence where Allah resides, and the adversary, those who you believe that is in charge of the lower end of the hell perspective, they are aware of it. They have been aware of it since the transition had happened, okay, in 2020, 2019, 2020. But they've given you a narrative and they've kept you sustained on that narrative during the Sabbath, okay? That is how you have bought into a false reality, and they had sustained you with the wars and with the capture and the occupation, and you did not grow. You remained in your physical captivity and you could not ascend with the new Bani Israel, the Ali Lut, the Ali Nuh and the Ali Ibrahim. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ فَاسِقِينَ. Okay? So you were given by Allah's will the opportunity of expanding your insight into what reality had been fostering, what it had been shaping, how it had been marinating your whole new order of how a new conscious and how a new reality, how a new world will shape. That would be nothing in comparison to what the dark and ignorant and stone age would be that we had come out of. Okay? It is now going to upgrade, and it is now promoting new concepts, new ways of living, new ways of returning to your natural earthly instinctive qualities. How do you come back to yourself now again? Okay, how do we relate to, how are we going to understand divinity? How are we going to understand eternity? Okay, we have all the answers now. We know exactly where Jannah is. We have already demarcated that most of human beings are currently residing in Jahannam. There is been divisions, subjugations, there has been conquers, there has been wars, there has been all sorts of things. So, you have to come to terms with the fact that you were captured by foreign aliens from other nations with foreign gods, with foreign mythologies, with foreign Jannahs, foreign Jahannams. You must come to synchronize in the new truth, because Allah has changed the frequency. Okay, the frequency is what negotiates your perception and your level that you attract of information that is accurate. Okay, most of you are residing in vast doubt at the moment because of the channels that has been changed in the cosmos. Okay, if we would ask you any questions, you would be embarrassed to answer it, because we know you don't know. We know you don't believe, because of the change of the pattern, because of the change of the order, the amr, because of the change of the return to the fitrah. Okay, this is how you will now remodule your language, your vocabulary, your spells has mostly been on your tongue, bilisanin, Arabiyin mubin. You had lost your natural order of how the tongue is the component that had compromised your frequencies. Okay, your language spells has been given by your enemy. Okay, and that is how you don't understand who you are. You don't have access to your higher self. You could not, we could not break through. And after there was a brief opportunity in the Sabbath to reconcile with your natural disposition and understand that how badly the contamination was on your natural operational systems. Okay, how bad you have come to alter your state of conscious, how bad you had created gods which had no legitimacy, because that God is absent. That God is not helping the Palestinians, not helping the Lebanese. It's not helping anyone that is poor or has a drug problem or has a prostitute problem or has a cancer problem. You have to come to terms with the fact that you have been misled, you have gone astray, you have lost your path. You don't identify that the fact that you are not physical, you are your conscious that is in a remote remote space that is projecting inwards. Okay, so now you're going to come to terms with the fact that you are not physical. You cannot believe in physical, tangible things whilst you are more so in a spiritual orientation. Okay, when you raise your finger, it is something that is telling your finger to raise. It's not your ego, it's your higher self, because you are patterned in that way. But because of the great invasions onto your psychology, your education that you had been given from your adversary, it had derailed you from what is natural knowledge, what is self-knowledge, what is self-identity. How are you going to go back to Allah? How are you going to identify with Allah in a nationalized way, in a citizenship way? Allah doesn't recognize citizens, because if you do not know who is you and me is one, you and me is one, but you don't know how to marry the two so that all becomes one. Okay, you are just supposed to find the equilibrium between who they call you and who they call me. It's the same person, but you are just, and I am just infatuated because of how education had brought me to believe that that is the person that has that has recognition outside, and I have to see to me inside. People, you can't live two-faced. You have to merge the two. That is when you come to the miqat, when you come to a certain age, by 40, 41, then that merges. We all merge like that in our nature. That's why we can't fear death. We can't fear that there is we leave the paradigm of the physical, which is hell, and then we embrace the metaphysical, which is going to be the eternal side. Now you get compatible with the frequencies and the laws and the sunnahs that administers that reality. Okay, how do you sustain yourself into that? How are you now understanding yourself in a better light? How do you now equip yourself with self-knowledge? How do you know who you are? How do you testify that there is only one God when the God that you need to testify is within you? You have to come to these terms now, okay? There is no physical prophets. There was never physical prophets. It was mythologies. You had just been frozen into a mental delusion where you didn't see it. You just saw cupboards. You just saw graveyards, and that made you believe in the dead. So you can only be dead if you believe in the dead. Okay, innaka mayyitun wa innahum lamayitun. So when you wake up, when you getting an ascension, when you become part of the Bani Israel, like there are those who has been given that ascensions, that upgrades in their conscious perspectives, they know that religions, most 99% of religions have been fabricated by other nations, and that was not God forsaken. Okay, it's time that you must come to terms with this, because I'm telling you this because of your children. Your children are going to tell you what I'm telling you now, because they are getting the upgrades, because there is no sin that they created. So they come pure, okay, and they get the original perspectives of the new operational system of their fitrah. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. This is part of the promise to get to the promised land, and who's going to take care of them? You're not going to be able to take care of them because you don't understand them, because you don't understand yourself, because of the shirk, because of the oppression, because of the selfishness, because of the ego, because of the arrogance, because of the darkness that you reside in. Okay? Materialism had destroyed you and consumed you, and it had deviated your humanity and transhumaned you into an alien civilization, and that caused your self-destruction as a collective civilization. This is in the Quran, people. This is not, the Quran is precise on its cosmic conscious time lanes. It's just because of the level of your conscious, and the heavens doesn't give you access to activate the truth, because you have not we have not met the criteria. So what happens now is other nations get it, other people get it. People that you frowned upon, they are the people that was looking and searching for the truth. The heavens gives them the upgrades, regardless of whether you want to judge them, whether they are black, white, pink, or whatever their race is, whatever their nationality is, whatever their gender is. It's not being considered like that now in the transitional period, because you're going through the Sabbath. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمْتُمُ الَّذِينَ اعْتَدَوْا مِنْكُمْ فِي السَّبْتِ فَقُلْنَا لَهُمْ كُونُوا قِرَدَةً خَاسِعِينَ. We have been stuck in a dead narrative, and we are following game whores on a virtual platform, and we believe that we are better than the God because we can give him advice what is happening here, and we can protest against his decisions, and we can uproot him from his seat, and we can replace him with another God. That is what we've become, but we cannot come to terms with it because we are living in the dark. We are living in denial. We are living in shirk. Okay? This is very sensitive in your lives, but you must come to terms with it, because there's a bang coming, people. There is a trumpet coming. There is a heavy trumpet demolition coming. Not for to scare anybody. It's natural. It's natural because there's a new season in. Those who are dead, they will not know because they're dead. Those who knows, they must prepare because they don't want to be dead. They want to go to the level of the living, conscious human psychics. Okay, so all the education, people, and you must understand that which we knew is not going to be sustainable in the new diversion of truth. The things you thought that you could apply to medicare you and to guide you, it's not going to be the truth any longer. It's time you come to that. If you go into yourself, okay, you are not what people has made you. You're not what doctors has told you. Not what government has told you. You are your higher self. You are your conscious. You are your inner self. You don't know yourself. Okay, you've been manipulated and you have been occupied and distracted. So you cannot feel yourself because you're dead. You know what it is to be dead? It means you're in Jahannam. If you know what is happening in your conscious, in the time lanes, in how your self communicates with every other living organ, and you feel when you walk onto the grass, you know it's living. You can't just kill it. not connectivity, okay? And that is how you lose. You lose the game and you become a subject of the adversary, that you become the slave of your shaitan, okay? You become the slave of the systems. You become the slaves of money. You become the slaves of the banks. You become the slave of everybody else but Allah, because you have co-created many gods. That's why you don't know what is happening. You can't feel it, because في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا. And there is deep sickness inside people. There's darkness inside. For all of us, we cannot navigate past that dark curtains, because somehow our arrogance, somehow our herd following, somehow our religious beliefs is not allowing us to become conscious of the crimes we are collectively committing to Allah, against Allah. Okay, so this is not an easy time in life, people. Honestly, that's why many of us, we cannot associate with anyone much today, because it's not easy to come to terms with that person is not knowing where they are, and how do you now make that person feel awkward at this time, and he makes you or she makes you feel awkward. So you rather keep your distance, because you are on your way to another conscious construct of reality. Okay, you don't want to stay. Nobody wants to stay where they are. They want to always upgrade their levels of conscious and perception and of knowledge and of wisdom, and also embrace their ancestors and their future generations. Okay, because we don't live in a fixed space. We are multidimensional. Okay, so may Allah, it's again iftar time, it's bukat here. May Allah give you barakat, people. Nice, speak to your kids. It's important to understand the cycles and how you feel, man. That's important, to start speaking what you feel. Let your children start speaking what they feel. This is time for that. Okay. Jazakallah khair. Allah give barakat. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
يا مصطفى كل شيء